See, I'm glad I did my fictional study of the Bible, because I know it backward. And I heard, and next, Revelation chapter 14. It says, next in my vision I saw Mount Zion. That's Mount Zion, man. So he saw Mount Zion, and standing on it a lamb. This is the head. And this stands on the holy, holy mountain. March used to be called Primus. Primus means the first. Primus, Secundus, Tertius, Quartus, Quintus, Sestus, and then Sept is 7. See, September is the 7th month, if you start at Aries, where you're supposed to. The blossom begins here, the start of the North cycle. The ascendant begins here. Remember, A, ascendant, descendant, meridian, spells out the name Adam. There's a lot of reasons why it all happens and starts there. But the holy mountain that it's talking about in Revelation chapter 14, and the 144,000 stand on that holy mountain, who had with him 144,000 people, all with his name and his father's name written on their foreheads, sealed in their foreheads. It's the chakras. That's the 144,000. Check out the work of Maurice Cottrell. And he's got a series called Secret of the Gods, the Serpent, something. But anyway, Maurice Cottrell, he's got a few videos. Check it out, where he shows, he gets a picture of Pacal, the jade mask of Pacal in Palenque, Mexico. And he gets two of those pictures of the jade mosaic mask of Pacal, and he superimposes them 14.4 degrees. And guess what appears on the forehead of Pacal? The number 144,000. He must have read Revelation over there in Mexico hundreds of years ago. What's this? The Kabbalistic tree of the Jews. Can you see the Christ hiding behind there? See, your 7 chakras are equivalent to the 10 spheres of the Kabbalistic tree. The tree of life is in you. The Christ is in you. You are the Christ. That's what the Apostle Paul is talking about when he says the Christ within. Where is the Holy Grail? Does anyone know where the constellation Crater is? Well, the constellation Crater is right here in Cancer. Because, as I'll read to you in the commentary of Macrobius, the 12th chapter, he goes on to explain how our souls come from the Milky Way, the milk, the mother. See, our Milky Way galaxy is Isis. It's feminine. And her partner is Andromeda. Andro in Greek, last time I checked, was husband, man. Andros is man. Right? Androgynous, all those andro words. So Andromeda, our next door galaxy, is the man, the male, the partner of Isis, our Milky Way galaxy. Explained here very carefully. Doesn't explain that, but it explains what the Milky Way means. The origin of all these souls that are found here today on this planet. And it comes down the 7-rung ladder of Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, the Sun, Venus, Mercury, the Moon. So Saturn is the first and the Moon is the last. This is the vision that John had in Revelation. The Moon is the Alpha, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn is the Omega, the Alpha and the Omega, because the 7 planets are the 7 vowels, according to the Jews. And the consonants, the 12 consonants, are the 12 signs of the zodiac. And when you add the Earth, Neptune, and Uranus, you get the number 22. They all add up to 22. The tarot cards, the letters of the Jewish alphabet, etc., etc., etc. It's all here. The tarot is this. The Torah is this. Everything is this. Everything. The whole lot. The whole, everything you need to know. That's nature. That's how it works. Anywhere in the universe. Okay, so at this point we shall discuss the order of the signs by which the souls descend from the sky to the infernal regions. of this life. So he's discussing the most important thing that you could ever discuss, right? What could be more important than knowing how the souls came from the Milky Way and descended, like he said, to the infernal regions where we are now? The Milky Way girdles the zodiac, its great circle meeting it obliquely so that it crosses at the two tropical signs, Capricorn and Cancer. Because when the sun climbs up from Aries, the start of the year, and it climbs up to Capricorn, to Cancer, that little day, that good old day, the 21st of June, magic day, the longest day of the year. Then it goes down to Capricorn. This fella, Cancer, is ruled by the moon. Because the tilt of the earth causes it to be closer to the sun in the northern hemisphere. Not closer physically, not the planet closer to the sun, because it's not. Okay, it's the tilt of the earth. So in the northern, if here is the sun, in the northern hemisphere, the tilt will be like that in summer, because and these people in Australia will be experiencing winter. And then when it goes around the other side of the sun, it's the opposite. But because it's closest, and the moon is the closest sphere to the earth, they place the sphere in Cancer. The moon, that's how it sits. Always sits like that. You never change it like that. That's the Jewish candelabra, the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's Cancer, there's the moon. The moon rules Cancer. Guess who rules Capricorn? Good old Saturn. And this is what the ancients knew, and they explained that our souls descend from the moon sphere and descend and ascend out of the rings of Saturn. Those rings of Saturn, you know, Saturn, he's got the scythe, he's the Grim Reaper, dressed in black. Well, they're the same people in your church who are dressed in black. The Saturn church is the Latin church. That's why they give you a whole bunch of Latin words when they summons you, you know, the accused, a hearing, because it's the Inquisition, man, it's still on, and because we haven't stopped it, we're going to stop it. We are stopping it. Are you enjoying this? Isn't it great when you start putting it together, guys? It's there. I'm just pointing to it. I didn't make any of this up. You know, it's like a watchmaker. I always say this. You know, a watchmaker. I guarantee you, if you pull one of those ladies' watches apart, right? If you know how to do it for a start, and you put it down, there's no one in this room that'll be able to put it together again, would they? Anyone? But you get one of those jewelers in Switzerland, and he's got his little thing on. He's give me 5 minutes. There you go, and you're off, and you're telling the time for the rest of. Because the watch works, because he puts it together. It's all here. But you've got to read, right? And what do they tell you in church? Well, when I was going to church anyway, the Jehovah's Witnesses, all brothers, make sure you just read the Bible and the Watchtower Tract publications, because everything else is from the devil. I think the people who invent the devil are the devil, because they promote him. It's a fictional concept. They promote him, so let them have it. It's theirs. Don't take any ownership of their fictional concepts, because it's doing them harm more than it is doing anyone else. And the Bible tells you. This man who, in 1830, remember, he wrote a sermon, which is not in that book. That book has 24 sermons. This is one that didn't get published, but he wrote a sermon, Belief Not the Safe Side. It's not. And he proves in here that the Bible tells you that it's not. The scripture, where the Christians and the churchgoers say, Lord, Lord, didn't we prophesy in your name and expel demons in your name and perform wonderful works in your name? And I will say to you, get away from me, you workers of lawlessness. I never knew you. That's churchgoers, because we're not doing that. We're not ranting and raving about how we're doing all these church things for Jesus, like converting pagans who understand the cycles of nature Let's divorce them from nature and bring them to Christ, shall we? And of course, if they don't get baptised, we've always got the sword in the right hand. The Bible's in the left. Souls are believed to pass through these portals when going from the sky to the south, to the earth, and returning from the earth to the sky. For this reason, one is called the portal of men and the other the portal of gods. Take note of this, guys. This is rich. This is how we came here. They knew it. They knew it. And this is only one. I can read from the Kybalion. I can read from, my God, Virgil, Porphyry, Plutarch. Plutarch's the great one. Ad nauseum. They knew that the souls came from here. The rishis go back to the moon. Then they send in order Mercury, and they get out of this time-conquered place, Saturn. That's why the Latin church, the Saturn church, controls the Julian calendar. The one that has enslaved us all, the Julio-Gregorian calendar. Rome rules the world, man. They own the calendar, they own the alphabet, that even in the Asian countries and African countries will have on their computer fingerboards, everywhere. In their law courts, everywhere. It's this language, the Latin language. They own the concept of Christian democracy based on a historical Christ. Right? What else is Rome given? Come on, man, it's everything. It's all architecture. You go to Melbourne, look around. It's Roman, 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 Grecian, Roman, Roman. There's a few Greek things there, Corinthian pillars and whatnot, but it's all Roman.
And it'll all fall down as soon as we start shaking a bit and vibrate higher.
It's a house of cards, man, and we're going to blow it down. I'll get back to the cup because I want to show you how the cup was placed here, because here it says that when the souls come down, Crater is here in between Leo and Cancer because we drink of the intoxicating liquor of the cup as our souls descend and we forget who we are. Because we drink from that cup, the Holy Grail. Remember, Perseus is over here. Everybody's in their right positions. I can go on and on and on, and I recommend, I'm not going to do it now because I really want to get into some meaty other stuff other than astrotheology. I have 7 3-hour products on YouTube, on the internet, that I encourage you to get into. Get into them. It's free on the internet. You know? Santos Bonači, Astrotheology. My YouTube site is...
Mr. Astrotheology.
Mr. Astrotheology. You're a subscriber, right? Yeah. So check them out. And you'll see all the dates. I've placed all the dates there, man. I've gone into so many books to show you how all the dates, all of them, they're all there. And as the sun goes, we go. See, the sun is born here and conquers, starts waxing up the mountain, just like the moon does, right? It conquers. And as it conquers, the moon, see, the moon takes 14 days to go to full moon, and then new moon, full moon. That's the same as the sun, exactly the same. Full sun, new sun. So that's why you celebrate on the 25th of December, the birthday of the sun. And then, of course, the sun travels 30 degrees and it finds itself in John the Baptist territory. You see John the Baptist baptizing the sun? You see, because January is January the Baptist. John the Baptist. And every year, after 30 days of climbing, this is the wet season. And so the sun gets a hell of a baptizing by Aquarius. And then it comes into February. Well, Febru, last time I checked, in Latin means purification. And in fact, the 1st of February is the day of purification of the Virgin. That's where she purifies herself. So does Jesus, so do we. You know, because we follow the sun. It's an allegory which has a benefit. It has an ethos, an ethic, which far outweighs the morals that they teach you in church. They steal your ethics